君だけにバスから降りてくる君はいつも笑ってるよね。スケートボードで通り過ぎながら僕は毎日見てるよ。名前さえ知らないのに恋に落ちてしまった。キスよ飛んでゆけ僕のハートから右手で唇投げるようにキスよ飛んでゆけ君のハートまで声には出さずにこっそり君だけに部活終わる頃狙って帰ろう君とすれ違いたい。ほんの一瞬でもまぶた焼き付けて夢でもう一度会うんだ。幸せとはワクワク感明日へ続く期待値愛が届くかな熱中するのかな直接言葉にできないけど愛は届くかな宇宙で生き返そうおどけた仕草で同じな弱虫だ。勇気出して歩いてみる10秒くらい出会ったキスよ飛んでゆけ僕のハートから右手で唇投げるようにキスよ飛んでゆけ君のハートまで声には出さずにこっそり君だけに
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Chu Tuesday. It's Chu Chu on a Tuesday, here to brighten up your week. So have your tea and put your feet up whilst we sing and speak. It's ages till the weekend, so let's try and have some fun. The baby music, innuendo, comedy jokes, arcade, and definitely some puns. It's Chu Chu on a Tuesday. We Finally got there in the end. How is everybody doing this evening? Welcome, welcome. My name is May Chu Chu. This is Chu Yukum, and you are watching Chu Tuesdays episode 13. 13. Oh no, it's 13. Well, it's lucky for some, but it's bad news for the trixodecaphobics out there. Easy for you to say, Chu Chu. Apparently, the idea of 13 being an unlucky number goes all the way back to the biblical tale of the Last Supper, when Jesus and his 12 disciples tucked on into JC's fateful last din-dins together before the 13th person at the table, Judas Iscariot, betrayed him to the guards. Well, Jesus, you should have invited some plus ones to your dinner then, shouldn't you? I mean, all those poor disciples, leaving their families at home to follow him about willy-nilly through the wilderness. I mean, if you'd just let them bring some company along, then there wouldn't have ended up being 13 of them, would there? Come on, think smart, think smart. Anyway, we all know why the number 13 is such an unlucky number, really, at any kind of celebration. I mean, have you ever tried to cut a cake into 13 slices? I mean, 12 slices, okay, that's easy, 16, magic, bit small, but easy to divide up. 13 slices, come on, absolute nightmare. No wonder it is an absolutely feared number of dinner guests. Anyway, oh my gosh, there's actually exactly 13 people viewing right now, just as I watch this. Episode 13 with 13 viewers. And what do we have coming up later this week? Is it a Friday the 13th? Oh my goodness, this cannot be a good portent. I actually saw one of my colleagues putting her umbrella up indoors inside the office today. I'm not superstitious much, but that's a lot of things all coming together in one day. Anyway, hopefully nothing will go wrong this evening. Oh, we're up to 14. Hooray! 14, that's 2 times 7, that's double lucky. I'm feeling good about that. All right. Thank you everybody for joining. Don't forget, keep those comments coming in. It's always very strange for us performers to be doing online shows, just talking out into the void. No idea at all if anybody's watching, or if you are watching, if you actually give a toss. So it's really lovely for you to drop your comments in, get some of those emojis going, some of those clapping hands, smiley faces, or sad faces, or scared faces, or however you wish to express yourself through the medium of emoji, or actual words. Those are also available. In a variety of languages, some of which I may be able to understand. Hope you've all got your cup of tea to hand. Thank you very much. All right, so come on, join in. Don't forget to give me your comments and ask questions, of course, for myself or for my special guests later on. Le hooray! Oh, mais oui, I've gone a little bit continental. The last show I did, I tried to speak French. I sang my Don Quixote song, which has quite a bit of French in it. That I got scared because there were some actual French people in the room. Like, there was a whole crowd of French people right in front of me. And I just got all my words mixed up. And just ended up talking some kind of French nonsense. And they'll just think that I can't really speak French and I'm making it up. But je dois really parler français, believe me. Anyway, I hope everybody is feeling nice and relaxed. I think it's a relaxing time of year. It should be anyway. Here in Japan, we've just had a blissful little break. In Japan this time of year, many companies just scatter a few random days off here and there throughout a 10-day period. And they optimistically call it Golden Week. And it gives the Japanese a chance to indulge in everyone's favourite pastimes of sitting in holiday traffic jams and hiding indoors to avoid the blazing sunshine and sleeping, possibly whilst in the traffic jams or hiding indoors. Yes, folks, the best month of all is here, the month of May. My month, thank you very much. Enjoy every day of it. And of course, the month of May is named after the Greek mythological figure of Maya. Maya was the daughter of Atlas, the guy who holds the whole globe up like this all the time. The one. He doesn't think it's a small world, I'll tell you. Little known fact, of course, but May Chu Chu is a direct descendant of Maya herself, who passed down the 3 sacred relics through the maze way back thousands of years ago when the gods became mortals. The 3 sacred relics of May, of course, are the ukulele, the sultry vocals, and the mind capable of twisting anything into an innuendo. Some say it's a curse, but I'm always delighted to have a bit of Greek in me. Of course, Maya and her sisters were pursued so relentlessly by the hunter Orion that Zeus took pity on them and he turned them into stars. No, not like Simon Cowell. He transformed them into actual stars in the sky, just so that Orion would stop bothering them. Because sometimes the only way to escape a man's unwanted attention is to transform oneself into an incandescent ball of hot plasma. We've all been there, ladies. Hashtag Maya too. All right. It's the month of May, and today it's the 10th of May. Oh, that's National Shrimp Day. I do apologise if joining my live stream show this evening has clashed with anybody's decapod crustacean-based celebratory plans. We all remember Forrest Gump's best mate Bubba giving us 20 plus different ways of preparing shrimp, but even in the middle of his montage, he did not cover the greatest shrimp of all, which is, of course, Nagoya's own ebi fry. Yes, it's a great big deep fried shrimp coated in breadcrumbs. Juicy and crispy. Who doesn't like an ebi fry? Hang on, it's a shrimp, right? Or is that a prawn? What's the difference between a prawn and a shrimp anyway? And actually, what is a lobster? Isn't a lobster just a big shrimp? You know what? I'm going to consult my Japanese dictionary. Ebi fry, ebi. Okay, here we go. Ebi, shrimp, prawn, and lobster. Really helpful. Thank you, Japanese dictionary. Oh, well, I suppose it does make learning Japanese just a little bit easier. There's actually a shrimp emoji. I'm amazed. Prawns are larger. That's what they think. All right. Anyway, let's move on. Let's have some celebratory news now. Always have a cup of tea for my celebrations. What are we celebrating? Why, of course, many countries around the world have decided that the pandemic is officially over. And if we say so, then it must be true. Yes, the UK has dropped down to under 10,000 new daily cases now, just a safe 4-digit figure these days. And life is returning back to some kind of normal, free of lockdowns and restrictions. Unlike Japan, where we never had any lockdowns or restrictions, but we're just going to keep wearing our masks, just for a few more forever. But it's okay, don't worry guys. Here in Japan, everybody spent Golden Week isolated inside their own cars anyway. Life has changed quite a bit for us though, and it may seem a bit strange for everyone to be venturing back out into the big wide world again, returning to previously what were just normal activities, such as working in offices and international travel and socializing in groups. As they say, however, necessity is the mother of invention, and I come from a long line of eccentric British inventors. That's on the Chu Chu side. So I'd like to introduce to you a couple of exciting new creations I have in development to help you ease your way back into busy social circles. Let's try this out. First of all, introducing the Chu Chu Small Talk Generator, patent pending. Not sure how to interact with strangers at a gathering? Let this gadget do the work for you with key phrases for a variety of situations, such as "Fancy seeing you here," and "Excuse me, have we met?" And don't forget, "So have you had COVID yet?" Always essential. Oh, and of course, if you want to, relax a little bit, loosen up a bit, how about this one? "Wicked party, mate." Yes, I think there's a phrase for every situation. You can just push buttons randomly and see how it goes. No use, no need to have to think of your own small talk anymore. And I do have a Japanese version in prototype. It might need a bit of native checking, but I think I've pretty much covered all of the most commonly used phrases. いい天気ですね。お国はどちらですか? Oh, and of course, Nihongo jouzu desu ne. I mean, what more do you need, really? Also, all of this social distancing has really made us hyper aware of our own personal space. So I've also been developing a stylish jacket with shoulder pad wing mirrors so you can easily see how close people are around you and if they're approaching from either side. All right, I think it's time for our little news flash for this week. Time to get serious. The rising costs of fuel and cost of living in the UK and across the globe as a result of post-pandemic disrupted supply chains mean consumers need to find new ways of reducing costs and saving their pennies. Fortunately, we Yorkshire folk have a long history and culture of saving money and clinging on to every penny. In fact, did you know that copper wire was invented by two Yorkshiremen fighting over a penny? Anyway, here are some of May Chu Chu's top money-saving tips to help you make it to the end of the month, none of which involve getting a man to pay for everything or selling your hair, because once you've sold your hair, it's even harder to get a man to pay for everything. Want to refresh your wardrobe? Rather than buying all new togs, why not hold an eco clothes swap event? Exchange your pre-loved wardrobe items with friends, and everyone comes away with that new stuff excitement as well as saving the environment. It also works well with books, kitchen items you never use anymore, and boyfriends. And why don't you try some resourceful British wartime recipes? Is your milk going off? Is your bread getting stale? Don't throw it out. Just butter it up, throw in some old dried raisins, and bake it in the oven for 20 minutes. Sprinkle with a little cinnamon, only if you really want to get adventurous. No kidding, this is known as bread and butter pudding, and it is a traditional British favourite. Send me your photos. And another trick I like to follow every week: save money on your electricity bill by only ironing your work shirts on the front. Look smart from the front, and who cares what's going on behind? And finally, my top tip: instead of paying for Netflix or any of those streaming entertainment services, why not just make up your own drama or comedy show and then perform it with all your friends and then charge other friends to come and see it? This isn't even a joke. This is actually what me and all my friends in Nagoya have been doing for the past couple of years anyway. In fact, none of these ideas have even been jokes today anyway. Well, okay, apart from the bit about me giving away my older used boyfriends. It's not like those ruined husks would be any use to anyone anyway. But don't forget, folks, sometimes just making little cuts here and there can save a lot of money. As tempting as it is to pop out to cafes and restaurants for lunch, why not make your own pack-up, as we call it, to take to work each day? Not to mention, it is a chance to socialise with your colleagues in the lunchroom, or canteen, as we call it, and you never know, you might just happen to meet somebody new. And you know what? I think I might have a song about that for you. First time to play this song on Chu Tuesday, although it's always a crowd-pleasing favourite. This is a May Chu Chu original song called Lunchbox. The bell rang 12, we shuffled along, off to the huge canteen. I went to me corner, don't want to be bothered, but there's a young man there I've never seen. Now I'm not shy and he's caught me eye, so I gave him a little pout. But to my surprise, before me eyes, he only whipped it out. He showed me his lunchbox. He showed me his lunchbox. It was full to the brim and tightly packed. His sausage rolls were so neatly stacked in his lunchbox. When he showed me his lunchbox, he's the kind of chap who always comes prepared. So I sidled up to take a look as he unpacked before me eyes. It was quite a feast. The centrepiece was a pair of plums of considerable size. I told him I'm a hungry lass, was there something I could try? He looked quite astonished at how I demolished his banana custard pie. When I got in his lunchbox, there wasn't much much left when I was done. I made light work of his Chelsea buns in his lunchbox. When I got in his lunchbox, he's the kind of chap who likes to satisfy. Oh, a lady doesn't let any old fella rummage around in a pack-up. But this young guy had caught me eye. I wasn't going to tell him to back up. As he slid his hands towards me box, I slowly peeled back my wrapper. But me tuna sandwich had fallen apart. I must have looked a right slapper. Ugh. When he got in my lunchbox, Well, he got in and he had a nibble. I have to admit there was quite a dribble in my lunchbox when he got in my lunchbox. So next time, why not bring your lunchbox too? Thank you very much, everybody. That was, of course, my lunchbox. Thank you for indulging me. I'm actually working on an amusing little video for that song. It's almost finished, just putting a few finishing touches to it, and hopefully it'll be out on YouTube very, very soon. So do watch out for that. This might be the last Chu Tuesday I do for a little while, but I definitely think we should have a lunchbox launch party. What do you think, folks? I'd love to hear your thoughts and your reflections and your impressions and your special memories of the very first time you had a peek into my lunchbox. All right. Thank you, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us this evening. This is Chu Tuesday, episode 13, and my name is May Chu Chu. And I think it is now time to bring in our very special guests to have a little chat. Thank you for all your encouraging comments there. We're getting a bit of enthusiasm for the lunchbox launch, the bento bash. And of course, we are getting a few reminders about who our special guests are going to be this evening. I am going to introduce to you Emily Bailey and Shinsuke Tsuda, who are portraying the lead roles of Emily, yes, Emily's playing Emily, and George in the upcoming Nagoya Players production of Thornton Wilder's Our Town, hitting the stage at Chikusa Playhouse, not Chukusa Playhouse, thank you for that comment, this June. All right, so please give them some clapping hands and smiley faces and welcome them to the stream. We have Emily and Shinsuke. Hi, how are you guys?
Great.
I'm good, thank you. Thank you for inviting us today.
I'm very excited to see you. Oh, the screen is very crowded. I normally just have one guest, so it's like I feel like I'm having a party with two guests. This is a lot of fun.
Woo!
All right, guys. So first of all, I think a lot of your friends are on the stream tonight, but there might be some people who don't know you. So could you please give me a little self-introduction? Emily, why don't you go first?
Okay. My name is Emily. That's why I was cast. I am an Australian living in Japan for about 5 years. I think I've been involved with theatre and other productions for the last 3 years. And apart from theatre, I do all sorts of things, too many things. Lots of fun.
Yes, lots of creative things. Okay, great. Shinsuke, go ahead.
Okay, I'm Shinsuke. I grew up in Nagoya, and it's been like it's been like 5-6 years since I came back from Tokyo walking, and to use my English skills. Then I found the Nagoya Players and could join the show. I'm so glad.
Yeah, you found a very challenging way to use English skills live on stage.
Yeah. Lucky guy.
So when did you first start doing any acting or drama?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, actually, this show Town is a very first time to have experiences acting for me.
I can't believe it. Really? You haven't done like any small parts before or any?
Well, since when I was a kid, I really loved watching a movie and trying to be, those characters. Since pretending to be the character using the English. So
Yeah.
that was kind of my experience.
Yep, that's it.
But
That's acting. Got it. Wow, that's really exciting. I think this is a really big step then, taking the lead role in a production, even if it's your first movie.
I mean, like playing in front of
Yeah.
people. Can't imagine that.
You're a brave guy. How have the rest of the company been looking after you well? Have they helped you to get ready?
I'm not sure. No, so-
Are they nice? Do they help you and support you, or do they just
Yeah,
beat
no,
you
yes.
and shout at you?
Oh yeah, sometimes playing to be someone is really difficult. Well, so sometimes it happens, but basically, people in Nagoya Players so kind to me. I'm so
That's
thankful
good to hear.
to all of the people, especially Emily here.
Thank you. We're really glad you're a part of the show.
Yeah, that's great to hear. Whenever I get involved in creative things, people are always like nice and supportive, because it's in everyone's interest to like work together and help each other out. What about you, Emily? How long have you been doing acting, or have you had much theatre experience before?
I had some more growing up. I think from when I was about 10 until I graduated high school, I'd done productions with my school and community theatre ones. We used to do this one every year for the school holidays, like the whole school holiday. Kids just follow regular school hours, but they're going to join the theatre group every day and practice and then put on a show at the end of it. And we all loved it. I mean, it doesn't feel like it is any sort of work if you're enjoying the whole thing, so you don't really mind putting a lot of time into it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So you've always
I did have
enjoyed-
it is really good. I did have a period, again, probably during university when I wasn't doing it as much, but I started doing it again 3 years ago here in Japan, and I haven't wanted to stop ever since.
Yeah, that's kind of the same for me. I used to do more music and drama when I was at school and university, and then not so much for a long time. And here in Nagoya, I had a lot of chances to get involved with creative groups. Yeah. So you've always enjoyed doing acting. So what do you love about it? What do you love about being on stage, about performing, about portraying different characters?
I mean, there are all sorts of things to love, but I really like that you can do all sorts of things when acting that you can't do in real life. So kind of like similar to just that that experience and that joy and that whole process of, I don't know, you get it through reading, getting to experience something that you never could, except when you're acting, you're not just imagining it, you're putting yourself forward in that way as much as possible, and you're making it as real as possible. And yeah, I love doing that. And the community as well, especially if you're doing it with a group of great people.
What about you, Shinsuke? What have you been enjoying about it?
Well, for me, I'm really enjoying to be someone else who I never had a chance to be and fit like, and also being part of production. It teaches me a lot of things to live in real life. So that's a kind of interesting for me.
Oh, really? What do you mean? What kind of things?
I don't know. I mean, like like Emily said, we have a chance that we cannot have experience in our real life, and to have an experience, to have an experience those experiences, sometimes to. I don't know. I don't know. It's really difficult.
Yeah. I think sometimes you can try out a new personality when you're playing a role, right?
Yes.
Like you can be braver, or you can be, I don't know, or you could be shy, or you can be funny, or
You can be a worse person without consequences.
you could be a horrible person. You could enjoy being an evil villain.
Yeah, I mean, like, for me, like, you know, I'm a basically coward.
Right.
You know,
Well,
whatever I do. I'm so
in real life.
yes, in real life.
I
But
see.
yeah, you know, as a judge, uh, that's what I play in the show. The judge is like a really brave guy, and a really he has a really confidence himself. So being to be judge is like a, you know, oh, you know, even in my real life, you know, I can feel like, well, maybe, you know, I can be like George in this real life. I can do whatever
Yeah.
I want.
That's
It's me
cool.
want.
Yeah. Well, Tanya's just asking that. Do you secretly want to be like George in real life? Maybe it can give you a different perspective or give you some different confidence. So I should mention, of course, you that your group has been practicing and preparing for our town for quite some time now, for a little bit longer than expected. So tell us about what's happened since you very first started planning the show. Sorry, that's a horrible question. Just to let people know how long you've actually been rehearsing this show.
Don't tell them too long. Things have changed. I think it's definitely quite different a production to how it was looking to turn out the first year, and even the way that things were when we were rehearsing them last year. It's changed. Even in the last month or two when we've had rehearsals, we've had these little bits where we're like, oh, let's add this little thing in here, and we'll change this nuance and say it like this, we'll do this blocking. And so there have been things that have changed with it, hopefully for the better.
Yeah.
And some cast changes as well, because there have been some people who couldn't stick around for the next year.
Right. Yeah, it must have been tough. Yeah, so I suppose normally a theatre production, you know, sometimes we might just have a couple of months of rehearsals, or maybe 6 months, or maybe a year if it was being very ambitious. But you guys, of course, originally were planning to be on stage in June of 2020, right? So obviously we all know things happened, blah, blah, blah. It had to be postponed. So finally it's going to be going ahead in June 2022. So you've had 2.5 years of rehearsals, which is longer than anybody would ever be expecting to be rehearsing for a play. So do you feel like you have become your character now?
Yes and no.
Yeah, do you think you've changed as a person, like, during the last 2.5 years?
Yeah, I mean, I would be interested in hearing what you think about you and George Shinsuke. For me, I think I like to hope that I understand my character better than I did in the first year, but I think that's the sort of understanding that comes from a lot of thought and a lot of practice. I think my personality, just the way that I naturally am, has actually drifted more away from who she is over the last few years. So yeah, a bit of both.
What do you think, Shinsuke? Have you changed as a person since you've been playing George for such a long time now?
Well, yeah, I guess. I mean, like to have a lot of time to be apart from the practice face to face was like for me. I could have a lot of time to uh, think about George's personality, because, you know, sometimes I get scolded about my playing. It's not, you know, not like the original George, maybe. But yeah, you know, yeah, it's always getting better, I think.
Getting excited.
Yeah, getting excited. That's part of playing, right? Getting excited.
Oh yeah. it would be hard to like keep excited after a long time. But now the time is almost here. Just a few more weeks to go. So I think the whole of Nagoya is very excited for this production. So tell me, like, what? Oh, excuse me, my ukulele shaking around here. Tell me what things you find difficult about acting when you're on stage, whether it's actually portraying your character, or whether you maybe just the practical things about being part of a stage production and rehearsing and getting your performance just right. What do you think are the most difficult parts about this?
I think for me, there's two things that stand out as being difficult. One is the number of things that you have to be aware of, but not distracted by. So, like the way that you move and the way that you position yourself so you can be seen clearly by the audience, especially the way we're doing Our Town. It's meant to be seen from a much wider angle than just
it's
a normal
in the
stage.
round, right?
Yeah, it's not a full 360, but we still have to be
three
seen
sides,
this
yeah.
way, that way. So things like that, or projecting, just those things you have to have at the back of your mind. And I think the other one is trying to make a performance real, because there's a difference between understanding, oh, this person's sad, you know, or this person's worried or something like that. Like you can cognitively understand it without fully processing and holding the emotions yourself. So I think crossing that bridge can be difficult, like not just knowing what's going on, but trying to make yourself experience it.
But not too much that you lose control. You don't want to get too sad or angry or something. Ah!
You're out of control.
What about you, Shinsuke? Have you had any difficulties or any troubles during your time rehearsing for the show?
Yeah, for me, I think, how we feel about personality is really different person to person. So I think, it's the kind of stuff always happens between an actor and a director. So, so sharing those
Comments
differences
just come
make
up.
it,
Yes, he has.
yeah.
Not yet, Tim.
So I think, sharing those differences to make
Yeah.
it, better production is a kind of difficult thing. Yeah, I'm
Yeah, it's
still
difficult. Yeah, balance, right?
struggling. I'm still struggling, to find out what is right to be like an original George or my George. It's interesting though.
I feel like just your whole crew is just on this comments thread.
That's why they're
Just
here.
like
They're here to talk trash.
mocking each other. I don't know if there's anybody else watching tonight. It's just your crew here to tease each other.
But at least that is one of the good things about rehearsals. I mean, you can try things out and just see. You never know how things will go.
Yeah. Yeah. I realized, because I've been in one theatre production since I've been in Nagoya, and it was 6 months of rehearsals, and I guess I just didn't realize the amount of like stamina that's required, not only the 6 months of getting ready for it, or 2.5 years in your case, but the length of rehearsals every day. You usually you do a kind of 10 hours or 12 hours of rehearsal on a Sunday, and you really have to be switched on and on the ball and very disciplined, and it takes a lot of hard work and a lot of concentration, right? And sometimes I'd be so exhausted even just a few hours in, 3 hours in, and I go, oh my god, there's like 8 hours more to go and I'm so tired already.
Yeah.
And keeping yourself in character and in position and the right look and the right movements all the time.
Definitely
A lot of
takes
stamina.
a lot.
Like running a marathon. So yeah, something that I think you don't see when you watch it. If you watch a play or if you watch TV or films or something, see the actors doing their thing, you think, oh, it looks like so much fun, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just read some lines and enjoy it, But
Memorize
you
some
don't
lines.
realize millions of lines. But you don't realize they've been there for like 18 hours just to film this 5 minutes of footage or something.
Yeah.
All right. Have you got any funny stories to tell me about all of your rehearsal times, or maybe in another production you've been in over the years? What's the weirdest or silliest or funniest thing that's ever happened during a production or during a rehearsal?
I wish that I had more personal stories to tell. Unfortunately, because of the whole COVID thing, this is only the second show that I've been in Nagoya. It should have been like the fourth by now, but
Yeah.
But yeah, you hear lots of really funny stories as well. That's one of the things that I love about being in shows, is because half of the action isn't happening on the stage, it's happening behind the stage and in the corridors and in the dressing room and all these little inside jokes and everything going on. And yeah, it does get really hilarious. I remember when we did the Gift of the Magi, like in between the two dressing rooms, on the wall there was like a big whiteboard, like one that you would have in a school that size, and the cast and crew had just started writing all these little silly notes to each other on the whiteboard. And so by the end of the show day, it was just full of all these snide comments and things that people had written.
Encouraging comments.
Oh, definitely. Completely wholesome stuff.
You know what? Once again, I'm flummoxed by how to pronounce the name of your production, because when you did get Gift of the Magi, I was like, is it Magi? 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 This is where some katakana would have helped. And then even with our town, I've spent ages going, should I say it like our town in like kind of my normal accent? Or should I try and enunciate it more carefully and say our town? In a more posh English accent, our town.
Well, the people in the town are not very posh people, but they'd probably find it amusing.
How would you say it?
Me, with my weird Australian accent.
Our town.
Our town, nice. Our town.
I apologise to all Australians out there. Although it is National Shrimp Day, so you're probably busy with your barbies.
We're busy with our prawns, thank you. And I believe the difference is
prawns.
It's the number of claws. I think prawns have more claws than shrimp.
All right, okay. Trust an Aussie to know that.
Should I also say Japanese pronunciation?
I don't know.
Our town.
Our town.
Our town.
Our
town. That's interesting. So you've chosen our, because you know there's so many ways of pronouncing that word. It could have been something different.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, our. That sounds a bit more like Yorkshire pronunciation. Our town. I like it. So, talking of our town, tell me all about it. Actually, I am not familiar with the story. I don't really know anything about it. So, give us a bit of a synopsis. What can we expect from your production?
Would you like to say a few words, Shinsuke?
Yeah, tell us the tale without spoilers, of course. Give us the scene.
Well, I think Emily is a better person to say that, but I will try. I will try, Emily.
I'll try. Fine.
What's the story about?
I could add anything afterwards.
Okay, so poor languages. So I apologize, but I think our town is a good material that's based on people's normal life, like ordinary life and marriage, love, and dying. So it puts everything in a show, and I think this show teaches us why we should be thankful to what we have in our lives, and why we have to give everything to live our life. So I think if you have like a program to live your life, you should watch this. It teaches, it helps you guys a lot, I think.
I mean, I think that's how people feel after watching an episode of Chu Tuesday as well. What do you think, Emily? It all sounds very meaningful. Tell us a bit about the story.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Like, the play is set in this small country town, and it gives you a very clear image of a very different lifestyle. But at the same time, it does have so many things in it that are about human nature. And so no matter who's watching it, you see parts of yourself reflected, because it's pointing out the main points of what makes us human. And I do hope that people appreciate that, and that whole message about living your life is something that can really speak to people. I also hope that it's entertaining and funny. It's got some humorous bits in it as well. And I just really like seeing the whole cast come together to put it on. And I think it's cool for a lot of people who know different performers, and to be able to see them on stage and playing all these different roles and telling these stories.
I am looking forward to it. So, hey, remind us again of the dates, the times, the location.
Mm-hmm. So there are 4 shows. It's on the first weekend of June, so the 4th and the 5th, the Saturday, the Sunday. We have 11 o'clock shows and 5 o'clock shows. Yeah, and pretty much everybody who is in the cast is carrying around and selling tickets. So if anybody's interested, please let us know.
Yes, please come along and see the show. Well, I'm really happy to speak to you. I always love talking to different creative people on this show. You see, so far on Chu Tuesdays, I've spoken to quite a few musicians. I've had poets and a writer. I've had an artist. I've had a magician, of course, and we had the Aichi Vision crew as well, telling us about the Aichi Vision Festival. This is the first time I've had the lead cast of a theatre production on Chu Tuesdays, so I'm very happy to talk to you. And I'd love to know your thoughts about having creative hobbies. We all, most of the guests that I've had on my shows, people like myself who, we have our day jobs, we have our responsibilities and things to do, but we also like to do some creative things. And, sometimes it's hard for people to get into creative things, especially as an adult. We do all this stuff when we're kids, and when we're adults, we tend to forget about it. So I'd love to hear your thoughts about being an actor and getting into theatre. Do you think it's something that anybody can do? Do you think anyone should give it a go? Do you think there's certain skills or that you need to have, or certain personalities that are suited to it? What would you say to someone who's thinking about trying a bit of drama or getting involved in theatre?
I'd say definitely try it. Probably my advice would just be try anything. I think it's part of the whole creative thing, isn't it? If you get an idea in your head, it's probably good to just give it a go. I mean, worst comes to worst, you realize it's not for you, but at least you know a lot more about it. But most of the time, you actually end up enjoying it and developing your skills. And this isn't just for theatre. I mean, theatre is a really fun thing to do and a really great way to get involved both with your creative side and your community. But I think anything creative, it's great to just try, not put things off it.
Yeah.
It's actually very rewarding. I don't think many people have ever tried to do something creative, like with music or art or writing or performing or anything like that, and regretted ever trying.
Yep, I think most people can get something out of it. What do you think, Shinsuke? You've just started recently in the last few years becoming an actor. So do you think anybody can be an actor? Would you encourage other people to try it?
Yes, I think anybody can do that if there's if they are interested in it. But I want to say, yeah, just do it before you start thinking. well, of course, some people have a lot of trouble to find the time to do something new. But I think, if you have even a little time to to stop worrying and start thinking as to keep being interested
Yeah.
about it, maybe God will give you there's some opportunities. I think.
Maybe you'll get the power. Yeah.
Yes, I'm sorry about my poor English.
Yeah.
No, it's fine.
You'll get some inspiration, right? Yeah, we've just had a very interesting comment from Andy there. He says, he has respect for anyone who can get up on stage. I'll stick to rock climbing, less scary. I have to say, this is a man, I've seen photos of Andy clinging by one hand from like a cliff face, hundreds of feet in the air, just like swinging around, or like walking on the edge of a cliff edge or something, or disappearing into the wilderness for days on end by himself with his tent, and that seems pretty terrifying to me and to many of us, I'm sure. But, equally, I know lots of people look at performers and think of the thought of being on stage or being on film or being on a live YouTube show is kind of scary as well.
Wait, live?
So it's funny. It's like, we're live, right? So, I think we can all admire, each other's got different things that we, just can do and just don't find terrifying. Although I'm sure, Andy, I'm sure you found rock climbing scary at first. Maybe, right? Like the very first time. Like I found getting on stage a bit scary, like the first time, and then I kind of got used to it in the end. I still get a little stage fright though. I still get a little bit of nerves every time I get on stage, get a little bit of a tingle. And
it's
that's
a good
what
feeling
makes you,
though, it's a buzz.
Yeah. That's what makes you like behave and do your best. Only when you fall off. I've never fallen off the stage. Well, maybe once. I don't know.
Some people have. But I think that's a good point.
Yeah.
Everybody has their own skills. I think as long as you're developing yourself in some way, and then as humans, we'll just all be in mutual awe of each other.
Yep. Got to respect what each other can do and also think, well, maybe I could give that a go one day.
Yeah,
maybe I'll come rock climbing with you yet, Andy. We'll see. All right. I challenge everybody to face their fears and give something new a go. Thank you so much. It's lovely to chat to you, and I'm very much looking forward to the play. So hopefully some of the cast and crew out there are going to post some useful links in the comments now. Please let us know where we can buy tickets and all the details and times and dates and everything else. And I will see you guys on stage. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you. It's been
Thank you
fun.
much.
Take care. Good night. Choo choo.
You too.
I'm gonna
Good night.
pop you off the stream now. Bye bye.
Bye.
All right. Thank you so much to Emily and Shinsuke. So don't forget, folks, Our Town is showing at Chikusa Playhouse on Saturday and Sunday. It's the first weekend of June. So just a couple of weeks away now. There's going to be 2 showings a day at 11 a.m. and 5 p.m. So get your tickets from any of the cast or crew. Give them a shout in the comments if you don't know where to get them from. You can also buy your tickets from the Rock Bar and Restaurant, I do believe, in Sakai. And you can also reserve them on their website, nagoyaplayers.org. Just Google Nagoya Players and Our Town. Or if somebody can throw that link in the comments, that would be great as well. All right. Thank you very much. Get your tickets and I will see you there. Oh, and I should, of course, mention that, of course, the production is all going to be in English and there will be Japanese subtitles. How jolly it will be to enjoy some theatre in the summertime. Oh, it reminds me of the old summer days on Blackpool Pier with all of the cabaret and the puppet shows and the yodeling. Oh, I do hope I can visit home this summer. It's been so long since I've seen the green and pleasant hills of Yorkshire, since I've laughed with beloved family and dear friends since we played croquet on the lawn. Oh, I miss eating a multitude of crumbly cheese. It's been a while since I dropped all of the jelly out of a pork pie right down the top. Oh, and cried out, "Oh, hey!" when somebody broke a glass in the pub. Ah, Britain. The exquisite joy of waiting for a bus that never comes, of being offered a cup of tea at every turn, of burning one's mouth on a Cornish pasty, being called love at a supermarket, and then deftly catching the groceries hurled at you by that voracious Aldi checkout lady. Ah, home, sweet home. How I miss the afternoon tea with the little triangle sandwiches, and buying a quarter of sherbet lemons from the cheery corner shop chap who throws in a few extra as a little treat for you. Oh, do you remember lovingly crafting a straw effigy of Boris or Thatcher for bonfire night? Ah, those chilly nights, trudging down the frozen Ginnel to the outdoor lavatories. Oh, for the thrill of gambling on when summer might fall this year when you're trying to book a week off work. Oh, how I long to take in the delicate northern brogues of the locals on the train on the way home from Manchester Airport. Yeah, I'm on the train. Yeah, no, I can't hear you. I'm on the train. Yeah, all right. Ah, I miss the north so much. I even got a bit teary over an episode of Shaun the Sheep that I saw on the TV in the restaurant the other day. Well, I think to finish Chu Tuesday this evening, I'm going to sing you a little song that reminds me of the British summertime. This song is, of course, by one of my old-timey cabaret favourites, the northern British entertainer George Formby. He is, of course, one of my musical and comedy influences. So this song is called... this song is about a particular type of British candy or sweeties, which is a long, hard stick of rock, something that we like to eat at the seaside. So this song is called My Little Stick of Blackpool Rock. Off to the sea I go. I don't care if I do spend a pound. I'm rather rash, I know. See me dressed like all the sports, in my blazer and a pair of shorts, with me little stick of Blackpool rock. Along the promenade I stroll. In my pocket it got stuck, I could tell. And when I pulled my shirt off as well, the band conductor up on his stand somehow lost his bat and it flew out of his hand. So I jumped up in his place and then conducted the band with me little stick of Blackpool rock. With me little stick of Blackpool rock. Along the promenade I stroll. In my pocket it got stuck, I could tell, cause when I pulled it out, I pulled my shirt off as well. Every day, wherever I stray, the kids all around me flock. A girl whilst bathing clung to me, my wet sight to use. She cried, I'm drowning, and to save me you won't refuse. I said, well, if you're drowning, then I don't want to lose me little stick of Blackpool rock. With me little stick of Blackpool rock. Along the promenade I stroll. In the ballroom I went dancing each night. No wonder every girl I danced with stuck to me tight. Every day, wherever I stray, the kids all around me flock. A fella took me photographic cops 1 and 3. I said when it was done, is that supposed to be me? You probably mucked it up, the only thing I can see is my little stick of Blackpool rock. All right, I think that went swimmingly. So much for live streaming. Okie dokie. Everybody, thank you so much for watching Chu Tuesdays episode 13 and suffering so much ukulele with our very special guest this evening, Emily and Shinsuke from the Nagoya Players production of Our Town. So get your tickets. What are you waiting for? Come on, people. Tickets now. This was the last Chu Tuesdays in my series for now. I think I'm going to take a little summer break, but I might come back for a bonus lunchbox launch party in the next few weeks, so watch this space. Do subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't done so already, and do a Chu a favour, recommend Chu Tuesdays to all of your silliest friends and even some of the serious ones who just need to lighten the fluff up a little bit. And don't forget to subscribe, give me the big old thumbs up, and go back and watch some of the old episodes. 13 episodes out there now, and plenty of other videos and fun content from May Chu Chu's live stage shows. So what are you waiting for? Get caught up, get with the programme. And if you are here in Nagoya, please also join us for the Platinum Jubilee Bash at the Bermondsey Arms on 11th of June. Me and some of the other Brits of Nagoya are going to be getting together to celebrate the 70th anniversary of HRH Queen Lizzie Part 2 with plenty of music, mashed potato and monarchy mockery. We will of course have some good old British tunes, poetry and comedy, not to mention the return of tea dueling biscuits at the ready and our British accent competition. So get brushing up your favourite catchphrases, whether it's "the rain in Spain falls mainly on the plain" or "knees up Mother Brown." Just throw it in the ring for a chance to win prizes from my table of tat. And of course, British costuming will be highly encouraged for this event. And I'm delighted to tell you this will be a free of charge bash. Just the tips are welcome. It'll be running along all afternoon from about 3 p.m. through to the evening down at our favourite British pub, the Bermondsey. So that is Saturday, the 11th of June. Come along for their famous fish and chips, their cracking selection of ale and whiskey and cider, and stay for a bit of comedy nonsense with the Chu Chu crew. Thank you so much for joining us, everyone. And the comments have been absolutely gold tonight. It's brilliant. Oh, yes, my regular supplier of British chat is watching here. I might need some more souvenirs sending over. Until then, everybody, take it easy. Enjoy the sunshine if you've got it. Just relax. Bake a cake. Give every tree you walk past a nickname. Keep fit. Call your granny. Why'd I do that? I've got an actual phone right here. And until next time, my dears. Choo choo. Good night.